here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Body by Jeremy Jones.
Good evening and welcome to the Monday Night Mashup with Smoke and Jeremy B and Von Doom. How you doing, Von Doom?
I am alive, my good friend. How are you doing tonight?
I'm pretty much the same. But we did have some breaking news this afternoon. Pretty much shortly after I got done with the podcast, the Lions have added a 91st man to the roster. Who's going to be let go? We don't know. But they added special teamer linebacker Ben Neiman. Been in the league for about 5 years. Spent last year with the Broncos, the first two with the Cardinals, and the two after that with the Chiefs. Correct?
Yes, sir. No, he was
He
drafted by
was
the Chiefs and then went to the Cardinals, ended the year with the Broncos.
gotcha. So Chiefs, Cardinals, Broncos. I knew I had the right teams. Anyway, screw it. But he pretty much was a rotational. If someone got injured, piece that came in and played a couple games each year for the first 4 years of his career. And last year he was predominantly used on special teams, which Denver wasn't bad at stopping people on special teams last year. So it probably because he's actually a sure tackler. So getting another sure tackler with these new rules, I think that's a pretty huge thing, don't you?
I do. Well, yes and no, because I do feel that it's only going to be a matter of like a week before every team decides to just kick it through the end zone and start at the 30 instead of risking that. Because I figure we're probably going to get 5 or 6 touchdowns off kick returns in week 1.
Maybe for the teams that have enough speed to pull it off. That's a possibility. I can actually see that happening. I said it that this kick return thing is going to be bigger than people think, especially right away with new rules and adjusting to it. It's an adjustment on both sides of the ball. Now, granted, it might just be the average start will be exactly where I said, around the 37-yard line.
I think it's going to be awesome.
Oh, it will be awesome to see 20-yard returns every damn time. It'd be great. We haven't seen that type of returns anymore because nobody returns it out of the end zone when you're going to come out at 25 automatically.
I think we will this year.
Yeah, I don't think you're no because they can't return if it goes straight into the end zone. That's part of the rules. Remember, it has to land in the landing zone and they have to catch it.
Gotcha.
If it lands before the landing zone, the kicking team gets penalized with where they get the start. It's 40 if it goes out of bounds, 35 before or 30, whichever it is. It's crazy the way they got it worded, but I know. Wait, it's 40 if they kick it out of bounds before the goal line. Period, just like it always has been. Joshua Dorr in the building. How you doing, buddy? But 40-yard line if they kick it out of bounds. I believe it is the 30 if it lands before the landing zone. If it rolls through there, it penalizes the receiving team if the receivers don't catch the ball. If you get it somehow to roll through the landing zone into the end zone, they start at the 20 now. And I think that's huge too. And people don't realize that if you've got a kicker that can kick it to like the 1 or 2 yard line, and those guys got to back up to catch it if they can't get under it fast enough, if they do that low arc soccer ball type of kick. I think that would be that's going to come into play as well because, hey, penalize them, put them on the 20. What do you think, Von Doom?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that
like,
probably fucking bodes well for the Australian rugby kickers.
and the soccer players that coming into the league and all of that stuff, those type of guys, the ones that can kick it far and low. The only problem with that is when they're kicking field goals far and low, that means that they can be easily blocked at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite sure Joshua Dorr is watching hockey tonight. Isn't there a game on?
Um.
Panthers and Jets, or is that a little later?
Uh, Dude, honestly, I don't know. The only thing I know anymore is Pepsi.
I know. Oh, it's not for a couple of days yet. Oh, they're playing right now. Yep. First intermission right now. Yep. The Oilers are up 1-0.
Let's go Oilers.
The Panthers lead the series right now 1-0 as well.
Yeah, but I have a freaking BGS 10 Black Label freaking Connor McDavid rookie. So yeah, it's like a $10,000 card right now.
Smoking Dad in the building. How you doing, Smoking Dad?
Smoking Dad.
How's everything going in Giants land with OTAs right now?
Daniel Jones is looking legit again.
So not saying Friday then.
No, not really. His long ball is looking good. Malik Neighbors is freaking going along with it. He's building a rapport with the other receivers now. He's got a way better deep ball than Jared Goff does. Yeah, all the good stuff.
At the same time, who would you take between these two, Trevor Lawrence or Jared Goff?
I'm going to take Jared Goff over Trevor Lawrence usually.
That's what I thought. Justin Herbert has a huge cannon of an arm, but if you
I'm taking Herbert over Goff every day, though.
But his deep ball accuracy lacks at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
It does, but what doesn't he have out there? He doesn't have a guy to play center field.
And speaking of center field, the top 32 PFF ranked safeties were out there. You know who fourth place is in the entire league, right?
Brian Branch.
Nope.
Who?
No, they have him listed in the top 32 corners because he played more corner than safety last year.
Curtis Joseph?
No, but here's the thing. It's Kyle Hamilton.
Okay.
But Kyle Hamilton at 4 had 82 tackles, 4 interceptions, and 9 passes defended, right?
Yeah.
Nice solid stats. Number 5, Tyrann Mathieu, 74 tackles, 2 interceptions, 9 passes defended. Number 6, Javon Holland, 79 tackles, 3 interceptions, 9 passes defended. Here is my problem with that, though. Kirby Joseph had 84 tackles, 4 interceptions, and 11 passes defended, which means the only one that marginally had better stats was who?
Hamilton.
Kyle Hamilton, right? But he's not even on the 32 list. Go Lions! What up, though? How you doing tonight?
What was his QBR against though when they were when he was the guy in coverage? Because that could be something they use to attribute to it.
Against. Let's see.
Well, also, where was Xavier McKinney on that list?
Xavier McKinney was number 1.
Mm-hmm. Hang on, I just want to say that. Like I kept saying to everyone last year, Cook could kiss my ass. McKinney was the best safety in football. Fuck him.
Hey, I understand it. Life does happen. But at the same time, guess who was number 2 last year?
Hang on. Safety last year. Darnell Savage?
Just guess. No.
Who?
He's on the free agent list.
Oh, Justin Simmons.
Yes, he was number 2. Number
He's
3,
old though.
he is old, but he's still number 2 in the league for a reason. Number 3 was God, who was that? J.C. Bates.
Jesse Bates
Jesse Bates.
from Atlanta.
Bates
Okay,
made
I can get behind that.
Yeah, so it's actually a solid list, but at the same time, to leave Kirby Joseph completely off the list is kind of a snub, right? When he's up there with top 10 talent numbers.
How many games did he miss last year?
I appreciate it. Go Lions. And Corey Patterson in the building smoking Jamie B. I just, the year before, I think he was tied. Kirby Joseph with 4 interceptions was tied for the top safety position as far as interceptions were concerned. It was everything else that was less, but he still was a top 10 safety, correct? At the end of the year, in PFF rankings, he was the top 10 safety. This year,
Yeah.
he has better numbers than he had last year overall, and about the same interceptions, 4. He had more passes defended. And everybody said he had a down year, and he really didn't. It just looked like he had a down year because the rest of the secondary was so bad.
Makes sense.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes, sir.
More tackles, more passes defended, same amount of interceptions, and not even on the top 32 list. And that's where I kind of checked out on the PFF list. It's kind of like PFF having T. Higgins at 32 and having all those rookies ranked above him. I don't agree with having rookies ranked above unless they have the stats to back it up. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the year, Kirby Joseph made it. Beginning of the year, he wasn't even on that top 32 safety list, nor did I expect him to be. So when rookies make those top PFF lists without ever having a snap or making a down or running the ball or throwing the ball 100% in the top 15, I kind of check out any list that puts them up there. Because until they do it on the field, I don't believe they belong in the top 15 of anything. Do you?
No.
So if you remove the 5 rookies that went in the first round from in front of T. Higgins, that still puts him at 27, which means I said something today and it makes sense. He would be wide receiver 1 on about 6 rosters, and he would be a wide receiver 2 on 28 about 28 teams automatically. Does that sound about right?
T. Higgins?
Yeah.
Fuck no. I think that guy is legit number 1 on most teams.
Okay. See, because I said because of the teams that do have legit ones, it would only be about 6 teams where he'd be a legit 1.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But there's 27 teams where he would be the best 2 automatically, is what I'm getting at.
Okay, let's see. I want to think here. Teams where he would be the legit number 1. Buffalo,
Mm-hmm.
the Giants, the Panthers,
Mm-hmm.
the Jaguars,
Yep.
the Falcons.
Mm-hmm. I said the Falcons, they said, there's no way he don't overtake Drake London or Kyle Pitts. I said, Kyle Pitts is a tight end that plays wide receiver. And
Yes,
doesn't
and Drake London hasn't done shit in his career yet.
right. Whereas Higgins has some proven years when he's had a good QB to throw with him for a bulk of the season, he gets over 1,000 yards and around 8 touchdowns.
Let's see where else.
15 numbers.
That's 5. Steelers would be 6 because I still think he's better than freaking
Pickens.
Yep, he's better than Pickens.
Chargers.
So that's 7.
Okay, so there's 7. There's 7 automatically. The rest of them
Cardinals.
Cardinals maybe you could flip flop either one with MHJ being the talent he's supposed to be. I think Higgins would start out the 1, but MHJ would overtake him throughout the season. Oh, I forgot about the Chiefs. So that's 8. There's 8 teams. 8 teams he'd be a 1 on. I definitely would take him over Marquise Hollywood Brown. And yes, our roster is good. As a matter of fact, we signed our 91st player today, which means we have to make a cut before training camp. Luckily, there's 6 more days of OTAs yet to go before they have to make that decision. But we just signed a special teamer linebacker, Ben Neiman.
Oh, God damn, we think. I'm still trying to get this T. Higgins thought through my head here. I'm going to find one more team.
Denver, maybe? Would you start him over Cortland Sutton, or would he be a 2?
He'd be the one over Cortland Sutton all day.
Okay. So that's 9.
9, let's see.
I wouldn't start him over D-Hop. I mean, Devontae Adams. I mean,
Devontae Adams? No, not yet.
But the Titans, maybe.
Titans, the Titans got the hell.
Great. Right?
They got Tyler Boyd, Hopkins, I believe, and
the guy they drafted in the 2nd or 3rd round, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, he'd be the one there. So that's 10.
He wouldn't be the one over Chris Olave or Garrett Wilson, though.
No.
He wouldn't be the one he'd be the 3 in Tampa Bay, correct? Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, he'd be the 3.
He'd be the 3 because Godwin's a speed guy. Mike Evans is a gold jacket Hall of Famer, first ballot.
Yep.
T. Higgins is a less good Mike Evans.
Right. He's that route runner that catches everything and makes contested catches, right?
Yeah. He'd be the number 1 for Indiana, for the Colts. Over Michael Pittman.
You think he'd be over Michael Pittman?
Yep.
Fair enough. Brian 3 Cushion. Hey, Smoke. How you doing there, Brian? Good to see you. Glad you're here.
3 cushions. Sounds like hemorrhoids.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh.
There's a game called 3 Cushion, where there's no pockets on the table. After contact, the object ball and the cue ball have to travel 3 rails.
Yeah, that wasn't a quick in my head there. All I thought was cushions for a hemorrhoid.
No, because I talked about being a pool player, so he changed his name from Brian Roy to Brian 3 Cushion because he loves billiards.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so there's maybe a third of the team of the league, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
And after that, everybody else pretty much has established ones.
I'll give you that, yeah.
DJ Moore. Packers. He'd be a legit one with the Packers right now.
Dude, he would, but see, the Packers receivers they're such a conundrum.
Right.
Christian Watson, if he's healthy, he is a legit number 1 guy. Jaden Reed can be a legit number 1. Dobbs is a great number 2, and Datavian Wicks can be the slot guy. So their roster is stacked with wide receivers, but just no one to just gobble up targets.
Right. They have, I said it today on another podcast, they have 4 wide receiver 2s.
Yes, with 2 of them having potential to be wide receiver 1s.
Right. In Dobbs, in
Reed and Watson. I really like Jaden Reed a lot. Watson, I just wish his hamstring would just not be as bad as Darren Waller's.
You wish his hamstrings weren't made out of toothpicks?
They're made out of those friendship bracelet rubber bands.
Yes, we do. We have a really good CB and safety room. And you know what's crazy is our starting safeties are not even playing right now because they're rehabbing from their off-season surgery.
Hey.
Brian Branson, Kirby Joseph, neither one has taken the field yet. So it's Brandon Joseph that's been back there, and Ifeatu Melifonwu picking off Goff right now.
That just says Goff's a bitch. But anyway, on paper, yes, the Lions have a great cornerback room on paper.
Yep, and until it's proven, Carlton Davis.
Until Aaron Glenn fucks it up.
Carlton Davis is supposed to be playing CB1, Terry and Arnold at the 2, and everybody else is fighting to get that third nickelback slot. And it's going to be between Rakestraw and Amik Robertson. Everybody else is just depth after that.
Roberts is a good outside corner, though.
Yep, but they're saying Carlton Davis has beaten him out at that position, so they're running him more. Whenever Rakestraw comes off the field, that's when Amik goes in, and vice versa. Rakestraw is being developed as a slot for now because one of those guys, Amik or Carlton, will be the one. You got to have a vet there. Yep, Amik and Eric and Ennis have been playing well at the nickel.
I'm going to tell you right now from experience, that is a full-faced lie. You do not need a vet at cornerback 1. The Giants proved that last year when they freaking moved Adoree Jackson to the slot and started our first-round pick, Deontay Banks, and our fifth-round pick, Trey Hawkins, at 1 and 2.
Prior to that, Adoree Jackson was your CB1.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but to start the season out, he wasn't. He was a slot. But that works, though, because the way Wink Martindale ran his defense with that zero blitz, they had to get the ball out quick.
Mm-hmm. And isn't Adoree Jackson better at zone than man?
Yes.
That's why they went more man coverage and he was lost. It was like switching the scheme on AO.
Not that he was lost. He just slowed down.
Right.
After he had that knee injury 2 years ago, he hasn't been the same, which is also why I think he's still a free agent. Oh, did you hear Steve Nelson retired today? The cornerback I wanted everybody to get from the Texans. 31 years old, retired from the league. Well, he had offers on the table from the Bucs, the Giants, the Packers, the Raiders, and somebody else. He decided his wife's pregnant. He wants to go spend time with her, have his family, and start business outside of the NFL while he's still able to not be in pain.
Talking about Darren Waller?
No. Steven Nelson, cornerback from the Texans. Waller retired because of a near-death experience he had last year. He freaking, from November 5th through that December thing when he was out, he had an issue where he couldn't breathe and was in his apartment in northern New Jersey and started convulsing and trying to call 911, and he couldn't even get the words out to talk to him and tell him what was going on. And then he was sitting there trying to yell help, trying to get neighbors' attention while he thought he was dying on his couch. And that kind of changed his mindset and everything.
But so far, everything I've heard has been pretty much positive. You know, I just hate this, that the media was quick to poo-poo on Hooker having 2 bad days as his rookie camp. Because that's what this is. Even though he was a rookie last year, he didn't get to have camp. This is rookie camp, where he's here to learn and develop and turn into an NFL quarterback. So you're going to have up and down days. It's no different than listening to the reports where one day it's Caleb Williams who missed 7 passes in a row and threw 3 picks and had to be benched. And then the next day he looked as smooth as butter. They're doing the same thing with J.J. McCarthy. You know, first-round picks get overhyped and first-year quarterbacks get put underneath so much scrutiny.
They do. And the whole thing with Hooker, though, of course the media is going to shit on him right now because the fan base wanted him over Goff. Goff got that big-ass contract, and now they're going to freaking say, oh, there's the reason he didn't become the starter.
Right.
They have to justify it for their own narrative so it looks good on papers.
Yes, sir. And you're right. And, of course, every podcaster out there saying, see, Hooker's not ready. It's OTAs, people. They haven't even put on pads yet. But at the same time, I heard, because Tim 20man and Risden are 2 of the guys I trust the most, and you know that. You've talked to me about them many times, Mondoom. They both said Hooker was much more consistent and made a beautiful over-the-shoulder pass with deep downfield to Caden Davis. And I was like, you don't hear that stuff being reported by any QB other than Hendon Hooker. There has been some nice out routes ran by JMO, His first day of OTAs, yes, he struggled with a couple of short passes, but caught a couple deep balls from every QB, not just Jared Goff. So at the same time, I heard about the reports and I see the pictures each day of OTAs. So I started counting them from day one. And I was like, 5 picks day one for Goff. Okay. 3 picks day 2. 4 picks day 3. And I'm like going, well, that's 12 in 3 days of camp. Now, granted, he cut that down and he's only thrown 6 more, but that's 18 through 7 days of camp. That's not a good ratio.
It is if you hate Jared Goff.
Right. If Goff does that in 7 games, if he throws 18 picks in 7 games, you're in trouble, people.
I will let you all know right now that if he does that in 7 games, I will be laughing my ass off, saying, "I told you so. Take that bag."
I know.
And I will freaking get a jersey, a Goff jersey, and right on the arm, I will have a freaking ramen noodle freaking logo put on it.
On this arm, too, the throwing
Yep,
arm.
exactly, because that's who sponsors his arm. It's a noodle.
Top ramen. Oh, you're mean.
I don't like the guy.
I know you don't. And if he could somehow get back his form on the deep ball that he had in 2018, nobody would be complaining.
I still say he's a bitch.
Well, when he out Mahomes that night and he threw less passes for more yards, more touchdowns, and less interceptions.
That may be true, but what happened too though that year?
The Super Bowl, when everybody dropped everything he threw.
Maybe he doesn't throw a very catchable ball.
Stop.
Hey man, it's true. It happens. Do you know how many guys freaking couldn't catch Matthew Stafford's balls because he threw the ball too damn hard? Well, Goff doesn't throw it too hard. He just throws a wobbly one.
Yeah, ever since then, it used to be a pretty spiral downfield. It used to be right on target. I'm telling you, that Super Bowl messed with his head more than anything in the world.
Either that or McVay like cracked him in the shoulder with a pipe one night while they were out in the club or something like that, wearing a mask. Modern Tanya Harding for the football game. Boom.
Damn it, missed and only broke his thumb. Remember that?
Yep.
And he still came back and beat Rodgers. You remember that game?
So, I do, man. You know what though? Whenever I think about stuff like that, where people get hurt and they come back and play, you go back and you think about the dude that chopped off his fingers so he could keep playing the game.
You got John Pierre-Paul?
No, not JPP. He blew his hand up. There was a guy for the Raiders back in the day. Was it Ronnie Lott? Broke his finger? I don't know. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Deacon Jones, actually. And then he had to wear that club the rest of his time he played. But his finger got mangled. They had him take the finger off so he can keep playing. But guys like that, or guys like Byron Leftwich, who completely destroyed his leg and had the offensive line of Marshall carry him to the line to keep playing on that.
Mm-hmm. And throwing well still.
Yes, sir.
Remember that game? Throwing off his front foot the entire time because he couldn't plant his back foot.
Yeah, because everything was torn.
Right. You don't see those type of guys anymore. Nowadays, you see, I got a hangnail, and they got to miss it 8 weeks. Kenny Galladay.
Dude, exactly. All they think is, oh, I can sit out. I got to be healthy. But no, man, forget that. You're out there to win. You're getting paid millions of damn dollars. I don't care if you freaking have a hurt hammy. You freaking tore your pec off the goddamn bone. Go play.
Amen. Playing hurt and playing injured are 2 different things. But we just talked about guys who actually played injured.
Mm-hmm.
The legit injured. stuff that normally would sideline somebody for a minimum of 4 to 6 weeks. And they said, fuck it, tape it up, cortisone shot me, cut it off, whatever.
Or how about a few years ago when TJ Watt tore his shoulder and he had him put it in a strap and a harness so he can keep playing through the playoffs.
Right. Now, granted, it didn't help him, but yeah, he did it.
I respect that kind of toughness. Or that quarterback that's going to get hit 60, 70 times a year standing in a pocket to still throw that ball because he's like, nah. That was one of the things I liked the most about Eli. Like, that dude took a goddamn beating as a Giants quarterback. And he stayed in that pocket. He didn't see ghosts.
Sam Darnold.
Dude, Sam Darnold got ruined by the Jets so bad. He was not ready. He had 1 year of starting experience at USC, and then they bring him up there with an offensive line that was dog shit.
I mean,
it's such a bad thing to do to people.
And that year that he was a rookie, we had so much hope and promise that we would be okay. First pass he throws goes right to Quandre Diggs for a pick six. And that would be the last touchdown we scored in the game, and he turned into the next Joe Montana the rest of that game.
Yes. Like, he has the talent to be a good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
They just ruined his mental.
Right.
Dude, that was like Mark Sanchez. Could have been a very good quarterback.
Statistically, he was a very good quarterback.
Oh, yeah. His QBR was great.
Mm-hmm.
But the butt fumble ruined him.
So bad. He got crucified for that in New York.
You know, though, they had that. They took Mark Sanchez, who was a 1 year starter. Where?
USC.
Yep. Okay. So you get two AFC Championship games back to back, and then his career went to hell. The next year, what do? They draft a quarterback with 1 year starting experience from where?
USC.
Exactly.
I know.
Like, come on, man. There's only been one semi-decent quarterback to ever come out of USC, and that was freaking Carson Palmer.
Facts.
Caleb Williams is going to have to show up that he's different.
Exactly. I was like, man, how many first-round quarterbacks out of USC has been good? I can think of one, maybe two.
Carson Palmer, Boomer Esiason?
Yeah, that'd be the other one. If there's any others, please let me know in the chat.
Matt Leinart sucked as a pro.
He did.
John David Booty sucked as a pro.
Well, he started at Alabama and ended up at USC.
Yeah, I gotta think. There's gotta be more. Let me think.
There's not many. I'm telling you.
No.
Not in the last 30 years, anyways.
Hang on, let me just Google it here. So there's only been 17 that have played there that started in the NFL.
Made it to the NFL.
Todd Marinovich for the Raiders. Let's see. John David Booty, Leinart, Matt Barkley.
He was okay, but he never did anything.
Exactly. Paul McDonald, benched by the Browns after 1 year. Cody Kessler. Wow. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Played for the Browns. Pat Hayden.
Rodney
nobody.
Peete had semi-success.
Matt Leinart. Rodney Peete.
Rob
Donald.
Johnson out of a Super Bowl, right? No, that's Rob Johnson, right?
Did Rob Johnson go to USC, though?
Yes, USC Trojans.
Let's see.
Broke all passing records there. So I think that's
Rob
about
Johnson.
Carson Palmer and him are probably the best, and then Rodney Peete, 1, 2, and 3, right? and then Matt Leinart in 4. As far as success in the NFL, Mitch Mustaine.
Pete Bethard won a national championship in '62, and then he led the Houston Oilers to an AFL championship game
Oh, okay. That's
in
before
'67.
my time. Yeah, before my time. But yeah, I get it.
The Lions drafted Rodney Peete, really?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah.
I don't know why I never put that together.
Why do you think I talked about it all the time about Rodney Peete? Because he was the starting quarterback when he got hurt and Eric Kramer took over and won a
Ooh. Here, Matt Castle.
Yep, played behind Palmer and Leinart.
Yep, it took the Patriots to an 11-5 season.
The year that Brady broke his leg, right?
Yep, and then he got signed by the Chiefs, I believe it was.
And then got bounced around the league a little bit.
Dude, honestly, best. I'll tell you who was Kurt Warner before Kurt Warner. Matt Flynn.
Oh, that would be after Kurt Warner.
Oh, not Kurt Warner. I mean Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, he was Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins.
He got that bag everywhere.
He got the bag to go to Seattle and then never started a game.
Yeah, then they cut him, and he got the bag again.
Yeah, and he got a bag again. Who'd he go to the next time? I forget.
I think it was the Texans.
No, Matt Schaub.
Wait, I don't remember. I was seeing Matt Flynn.
Wasn't it the Broncos?
Okay, wait. So he was drafted by the Packers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then he went to the Seahawks. Then he went to the Raiders.
Oh, yeah.
And then he was with the Saints for a little while, too.
Yeah, but by the time he got to the Saints, there was no way he was touching the field.
Yeah, but man, he made so much money those first 4 years. You were like, God damn, how?
Well, that was because that was the game when Aaron Rodgers got hurt and he comes in and threw 6 touchdowns.
Exactly.
On Thanksgiving. Worst shellacking we ever had.
Yep. But still, that made that man a lot of money.
Wow. He actually played for the Jets, too.
I wish we could go back and just erase players from history of teams so I could take Geno off of the Giants ever.
God, you hate him so much.
I fucking despise him as a person. Not even as a quarterback. I despise him as a person for not just having the balls to say, listen, no, we suck. I'm not going to freaking take that away from that man.
I'll be right back. I got to use the restroom.
That's fine. Go for it, man. I'm pretty sure you've all heard me complain about Geno Smith and everything like that. He may be the one quarterback in the NFL I hate more than Jared Goff. And it's all just because he started one game for the New York Giants in Eli Manning's last year and broke his record for most consecutive starts. That like crushed me as a Giants fan, and I'll never forgive that man. But anyway, so we all agree that the Lions are going to go like 4-13 this year, right? That sounds realistic. They got a tough schedule. You know, I see Caleb Williams throwing for like 4,200 yards on you guys the first game and like 12 yards the second game. Just so I could pick on JB.
Ah, that's better.
Right, JB?
Whatever. I didn't even hear it.
See, he agrees. You guys are going 4-13, and Caleb Williams in first game is going to throw 4,200 yards against you, and the second game he's going to throw 12.
Oh, stop. Pete, you just don't stop, do you?
I don't. I went on my whole spiel about why I hate Geno Smith so much.
I kind of figured you were doing that. The gun guy says, "Stop it."
Are you saying that in your best Caleb Williams voice? Stop it.
Come on, you got to get it right. It's the way he says "Go Bears." It'd be "Stop it."
I'm sorry, I can't sound that gay.
That was so funny. Best part of the whole draft night. I swear to God. Hey, Caleb, give us a bear down. Go Bears.
JB, man,
But
if the entire thing and the podcasting don't work out for you, you may have a future on RuPaul's Drag Race.
stop it. No fucking way. I'll be the next Bob Nelson. If you don't know who that is, go watch some of his HBO specials from the 80s and 90s.
From HBO special from the 80s. Shit.
90s.
90s. Okay. I was alive in the 90s. I was going to say 80s. I spent half of them swimming around my daddy's nutsack.
Well, yeah, I know. In the 80s, he actually got his start on the 9th annual Young Comedian Show, which was actually where Robin Williams got his break, too, as a comedian.
Did you know Robin Williams was a notorious joke stealer? He would go to comedy clubs and sit in the back of them and write down everybody's jokes and use them as his own.
Yep.
I was hearing a story about it this morning where he did that one night, went to a club, wrote down the dude's jokes, and then 2 hours later, the guy that said it had went to another club, and there's Robin Williams up on stage saying his same skit.
And he's so emphatic about it, and he was so good with his deliveries, he actually would do the jokes better.
Oh, yeah.
Brian,
he did the jokes great. He just didn't have... I'm sorry.
Yep.
He just didn't have his own creativity, but he was genius at how delivery. You know who was a good comedian? Bob Saget. Foul-mouthed bastard.
Oh, he was.
What, man... I watched some of his comedy stuff, and I think about how the hell was he the dad on Full House?
Right. Because he was raunchy.
Oh, very raunchy.
But at the same
Good night, Mr. Brian Christian.
He's been gone for 2.5 years now.
Yep. All the good ones die.
Sam Kinison.
Fucking Kevin Hart.
And now we're living with Kevin Hart. You're awful.
We are, man. Thank God we still got Cat Williams.
Oh my God. Yeah, but Cat Williams is only good for about 30 minutes of his show, and then it's like he's regurgitating the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. But he's still funny as hell. And that interview on Shannon Sharp's podcast is epic and amazing. And like he might not have the greatest like hour, 2 hour long skits, but that guy has some of the best one-liners ever.
Oh, he's great on Wild and Out, where all these guys do one-liner roads.
Mm-hmm. When the one fat guy picked on his hair, he goes, "Yeah, my hair might be like that, but they make a hat for that. You're fat and you're black. There ain't no hat for that." And I was like, dude, it was. I was just like, wow. And it was like real quick, right off the top of the head. They got to be funny.
Brent Hopton, what's up, guys? Oh, we were just talking about PFF and that bull crap about Kirby Joseph not being in the top 32, because it is kind of bull crap when you put up basically the same stats that got you to top 10 the year before as a rookie, and you have better stats than some of the guys in the top 10, you should still be in the top 10.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, I got one for you, man.
Go ahead.
This is something I was reading and made a lot of sense to me today. Micah Parsons is probably a genius for not pushing that new contract right now.
Oh, 100%. I love what he said. He goes, I'm not holding out for money. He goes, I'm holding out of OTAs because I get better training from my personal instructor than I do at the facility. If that isn't a knock on the coaching staff, I don't know what is.
Oh, it is, but not even that. Think of it like this. St. Brown got that money. A.J. Brown got that money. Justin Jefferson got that money. CeeDee Lamb's going to take over the highest paid receiver, which is actually going to be the highest paid non-quarterback in the league at that point from Justin Jefferson when he gets his bag. Micah Parsons is going to make quarterback money.
He just might.
Uh-huh. He's going to make more than any wide receiver, and he damn well should because he is much more valuable than all of them. The best comparison for Micah Parsons, honestly, he is a modern-day Lawrence Taylor.
I can see that.
Where does that say for the character organization?
Doesn't say much about that coaching staff, that's for sure.
That coaching staff is trash, and they got rid of freaking what the hell was his name? The offensive coordinator that I liked.
The defensive coordinator or the offense?
No, the offensive coordinator that I liked. He played quarterback for Boise State.
Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore, yeah.
Drafted by the Detroit Lions.
I loved Kellen Moore in Boise State. Threw for 5,000 yards. Statue of Liberty play.
That was great. Didn't they beat Oklahoma with that or Nebraska?
I believe it was Nebraska.
I knew it was one or the other.
JB, I cannot wait for NCAA.
I know. You're going nuts, aren't you? Waiting.
Dude, I am. I'm going to take a day. Yeah, I am going to take a day or a weekend off work. I'm going to get extremely stoned, and I'm going to play football like I was in high school.
Yeah, I about died. Rich Eisen has the Cowboys as the 5th best roster overall and the Lions at 6, and I disagree with that.
Huh. Who do the Lions?
Rich Eisen the Lions all the time. He thinks they're the 2nd best team in the NFC, but yet he ranks them 6th in his power ranking.
On total roster build? Okay, maybe. Let's think. Who do the Cowboys have at safety? Jaron Curse.
Mid.
He is mid, but he actually has good stats. Do they
Right,
still have Xavier Woods?
Don't even know.
And okay, I'll say they have better corners than the Lions right now because Darren Bland and Trayvon Diggs both, they are top play corners there, especially once they stop freelancing.
Right. Once he stopped trying to jump routes and actually started playing coverage, he got good.
Mm-hmm. Bland was able to do both, though.
Yeah. And Bland's good. I'm not knocking that. They're better at corner. Okay. And just Micah Parsons at linebacker.
Parsons ain't a linebacker. He's a defensive end this year. They went to the 4-3.
Oh, did they go 4-3? I didn't know they changed.
They went 4-3. So Lions may have them at linebacker, honestly.
Yeah, because Leighton Vander Esch basically had to retire.
Yeah, and all they brought in was Nealand.
Right. Who's technically a defensive end.
Technically, yes. You guys have a better defensive tackles? Micah Parsons, I'm going to say he's better than Hutch. Right now, he's better than him. He's proven year in, year out. He's top 2 in the entire league.
I'm not.
I'm trying to break this down. So, for the most part, you guys are pretty even across that board. You guys got them in the safeties. They got your corners. You got linebacker. You have defensive tackles. They have ends. Offensive line, okay, you got them there right now.
Right.
I think they may develop into a very, very good offensive line there, though, especially adding Cooper Beebe to that.
They usually do. And they've been playing Cooper Beebe everywhere because of the injuries that they've been suffering throughout OTAs. I have paid attention. They've been playing him every position on the line, including center.
And he's excelling at every single one of them.
Yep. Which he played all the other 4 positions, so to transition from left and right guard, if you already played both, center should be easy, right?
In theory.
But
Let's see, who else? You got them
our
in tight
tight
end.
Yep.
Wide receiver, that is a really tough comparison.
I think they have the edge with CD Lamb there. I think they have the edge.
Yes, I'm not going to say he's a better. No, because he is all around now.
Right, he's been running routes better. He's been doing all of it. So
Yeah.
give them the edge at wide receiver, but I give us the edge at running back.
Well, no shit. They got 80-year-old Zeke back.
No.
And Rico Dowell.
And Deuce Vaughn.
Yeah, Mighty Mouse. Who's slow.
Mighty Mouse too, and then Zeke.
Quarterback, though, that's an interesting one.
In the regular season, Dak is better. In the postseason, Goff is better. So I say it's a wash.
It is, but like that.
Until Dak gets it done in the playoffs, it's a wash.
Yeah, because Goff can't get it done in the playoffs either, though, when it really matters. They both choke on the big stage.
Nah, Goff didn't choke.
Goff didn't win; he choked.
Goff
This is what I'll say about Dak, though. He at least has the balls to try to run for those yards.
Goff tries; it just doesn't work. Come on now.
Talking about Goff sees pressure coming, he goes, throw it away.
Not
He's
every
like,
time.
where are you? Where are you?
You can't say that every time. He does throw it away. He does do check downs.
So I think they're both pretty evenly matched. So I wouldn't go 5'6", maybe 5A, 5B. Most complete team in the league, probably the Eagles, right?
Could be. If Jalen Hurts can pull his head out of his ass, he hasn't looked good all OTAs from what I'm hearing.
I don't see Jalen Hurts as being a good quarterback. I never did.
Right.
I said he was Justin Fields with worse arm. He just got lucky to have an offense that was properly built around him before the guy went out to be the head coach of the Colts.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Steichens isn't given enough credit for the job he did with Hurts.
Exactly. And then you figure they had a new offensive coordinator last year. The playbook got bland as hell, and they just ran a brotherly shove.
Every time they were within 2 yards of the goal line.
Yep. And do the thing, too, like they have great wide receivers. I will say that A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith are great wide receivers.
And if Bradbury could pull it out of his ass, they got great corners too. But now they got the rookies, so we don't. That's a question mark now. If
Slay
it's
starting. Nope. Slay is starting at CB1. Right now, Quinlan Mitchell is starting at CB2. Cooper DeJean is playing the nickel, and Bradbury is moving to safety.
Wow.
Which is a great place for him. He's not as fast as he was, but he has great ball skills. It always has. And he likes tackling.
And so far, I've heard it from now 8 different writers. Betts has the elite bend and the change of direction skills you want as the starter opposite Hutch. And I'm going to still say it. I still think there's a 60% chance he ends up the starter because he plays the run better than James Houston or Marcus Davenport.
Well, yeah.
I got poo-pooed on it on another podcast when I put that in the chat. They were like, there's no way he'll be the starter.
Which one was that?
I'm not going to get into it online. I'm not going to poo-poo any podcast online by name. I won't do it unless it's a certain other guy.
Okay, JB won't do it, but I don't know who it is, but fuck him. Because I don't give a fuck who I offend. Because guess what, JB?
Mhm.
Like my wife says, they don't feed me, they don't fuck me, they don't finance me, they don't fucking matter.
Exactly. I mean, they don't matter, but at the same time, the podcaster community is supposed to be a close knit family. And to whoever leaked it out about Saturday, shame on you.
Yeah,
That's
choke
all
on
it
a
is.
dick.
They definitely need to EAD, eat a dick,
No, they don't need to eat it, they need to choke on it.
a whole bag of them, because we almost lost it. It was almost shut down completely over that.
Yeah, I'd have been taking a flight.
Yeah, as soon as I find out who said it, I will put them on blast.
Ass bags.
Luckily, I was able to save it because I deleted all the videos, any posts, anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it is happening Wednesday at 11 a.m. So make sure you tune in. It's a special 2-hour episode of Lions Talk with Smoke and Jeremy B. It's going to start off with the special guest. No names. Don't put it in the chat. And then it'll go on as the show as usual after, starting at noon.
Dun, dun, dun.
And Dan Leonard, you already called off, haven't you?
I told my boss I'm going into work at midnight on Tuesday night.
Yeah, because we don't do a show Tuesdays. So you're going to come home, go to bed, then go right back to work to get it done, aren't you?
100%.
Choke down one of your kids' hot dogs from the hot dog roller on the way to the bedroom, right?
Nah, man, I was going to bed. I don't care. But, like, realistically, as long as I work 4 hours, I get paid my base pay for the day. So it's whatever. I just need to have things in a good enough position that I can do that. You know what I mean?
I mean, the one thing the Bears did right, they did get a new OC to go with Caleb Williams as a rookie. But at the same time, I think they should have got a vet presence that could start in front of him for a year. That's just my
What's that guy's name?
Tyson Badgett,
Yeah.
the backup QB that went, what was that, 4-1? Well, Justin Fields was hurt for 5 games.
Mm-hmm. See, that was the thing, though, with that offense. You could just plug and play, like, Minshew-type quarterbacks, O'Connell-type quarterbacks in there.
Yep, but that guy is now the offensive coordinator for the Raiders, which is why they're sticking with AOC and have Minshew as the backup.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is just a dink and dunk offense. Very rarely is there a deep shot needed unless the pocket breaks down and the quarterback has to roll out, which
Exactly. It's a true West Coast offense.
AOC was able to do that last year in the shitty offense he had while Anthony Pierce was head coach. It was
Mm-hmm.
once the O-line just started giving up pressures like a deluge to make him the 4th highest sack quarterback in the league last year that he fell apart.
Yep. But just the same thing, though, man. It's the West Coast offense out there. Now it'll work for him. I like the running back they have out there, Zamir White.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to take over for Josh Jacobs very well because he runs more angry than Josh Jacobs did.
Right, and a little better between the tackles. Because Josh Jacobs was good between the tackles, but he wasn't great at breaking that second tackle. You know what
This
I'm
guy
saying?
is, though. Yep.
And that guy is
And
right.
think of it like this, too. You got young quarterbacks. You're not really 100% on your offensive line. You have one receiver. What do you add to him? You give him 2 legit tight ends. You had Michael Mayer, who was a top prospect out of Notre Dame the year before, who had like 50-something catches as a rookie.
Which
And
is
then
a
you had
fair.
Bowers.
Yeah, I think Brock Bowers is going to be much better for him than people think.
Brock Bowers is a better Kyle Pitts.
More than likely. because he isn't allergic to the red zone. How many times have you heard me say this? I think Kyle Pitts is related to Julio Jones because he has that touchdown syndrome. He can't catch a touchdown unless it's
Yeah.
I think he's allergic to that dumb pitch because he's only got 2 touchdowns in his career now, or is it 3?
I don't know. I know
Wait,
he
he
won't
did
catch him in the red zone. He's afraid to get hit.
right. It is time to do this. Our favorite sponsor, and we're not on Roku, so let her rip, Leonard. What is it?
Fuck the Packies.
Yes, sir. Fuck the Packers. And of course, one of my good friends, Los Negron, 2023's best window tinter in Saginaw, 409 Hamilton Street. Give him a call. Schedule your appointment to get your windows tinted or your car detailed, 989-443-9240. And last but not least, it's Brandon Service, 6 West Atherton Road at the corner of South Grand Traverse and West Atherton in Flint, Michigan. Used tires starting at $40. Call and get your quote today. 810-233-8230 for new tires. Talk to George Red or myself.
Only talk to JB.
Yeah, specifically call up after 2 p.m. before 7 and ask for me Tuesday through Saturday.
We're calling any time of day to ask for JB. Just make him feel better about himself. We all need that pat on the back.
I'm good.
With your Mountain Dew.
Yes. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a blessed day.
Ooh,
And
ooh,
remember,
JB,
go ahead.
quick. Did you see the new flavors?
A Mountain Dew?
There's 3 new ones that just dropped out. There's a white one. It's like a chill something, a freedom something, and another one. They have red, white, and blue ones for the 4th of July dropping.
Oh, yay. I'll stick to my original. That's all I drink.
Hey man, I kept telling the boss, I'm like, he should have changed his statement, the slogan. Instead of refreshing for the summer, it should have been do it for your country.
Yes. That would have been better. Do it for your country.
Yep.
But on that note, try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. It's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. For me, Smoking Jeremy B, and my co-host, Von Doom. Everybody, I hope you have a great evening, and I'll see you tomorrow.